This is Anker's new 165 watts power bank with two built-in USB-C cables. Anker claimed that the one with the braided nylon cable is able to withstand 44 pounds of force, so I brought it to the gym and tested it for myself. Initially, I was quite hesitant to lift the weights up because I paid for this power bank with my own money, but turns out the cable held up just fine. This cable measures 0.3 meters in length and it has a clip that holds onto the head of the cable, effectively turning it into a wrist strap. I find this cable to be rather short, which is why I often reach for the other built-in retractable cable instead, and this one goes up to 0.69 meters in length. There is a recess at the top to keep the head of the cable away, and it stays in place with magnets. This is a pretty smart design in my opinion. I find this retractable function to be really convenient because I can easily charge my phone or my portable fan or my neck fan simply by pulling the cable out from my sling bag. And when I'm done with it, I just need to give it a light pull and it will retract automatically back into my bag. I no longer need to deal with long cables and having to coil them up so that I can keep it away nicely in my bag. There is also an additional 100 watt USB-C port in case you want to use your own USB-C cable. And there is also another 33 watt USB-A port as well. Besides being good for charging older devices that do not support USB-C charging, I like to use this USB-A port to slow charge my iPhone. This is to reduce the heat associated with fast charging, so I use my low wattage USB-A cables with this port. However, one disadvantage with built-in cables is that if they do fail, you effectively lose a port for charging because there's no way to replace them, unlike a regular port with an external cable. Next up, I tested Anker's claims with regards to recharging. They claim that it will take 20 minutes to recharge this power bank from 0 to 30% and it will take 1.7 hours to recharge this power bank fully. In my testing, it took 21 minutes and 10 seconds to get from 0 to 30%, so I think the claim made by Anker is pretty on point. However, it took 2 hours and 11 minutes to get from 0 to 100%, which is 29 minutes longer than the 1.7 hours claim. One thing I observed though is that the recharging speed actually throttles after 24%. It enters into this active cooling mode where the recharging wattage drops to 51 watts instead of maintaining at 91 watts. Later, it dropped even lower to 41 watts after the 48% mark. So it kind of seems like this power bank only recharges close to its peak wattage for a very brief moment of time during the 0 to 20% mark. Then it spends the rest of the time recharging at a much lower wattage. This power bank also has a second screen indicating its own internal temperature. Well, I went ahead to test the accuracy of this reading as well because I have another thermal camera running in the background to check whether the temperature indicated on the screen corresponds well with the temperature indicated on my thermal camera. So it seems like there's a 4 degrees Celsius disparity between what was reported on the power bank screen versus what's on my thermal camera. On the first screen, Anker also has this prediction sort of timing to let you know how long it will take before it finishes charging. Similarly, I took note of the predicted duration at the 20%, 50% and 80% mark. Overall, the accuracy of the predicted timing is not that good when the battery percentage is still low, but it gets better at higher percentage. The next thing I want to test is whether or not this power bank will throttle its output wattage when charging multiple devices. I tried plugging this Anker power bank to my high capacity U-Green power bank, which is capable of drawing 100 watts of power. I also connected the power bank to my iPad mini 7, which can draw about 20 watts of power, so in total they should draw up to 120 watts from the Anker power bank. At around the 25th minute mark, the active cooling mode kicked in and the output wattage dipped to 79 watts. From the input reading on my U-Green power bank, you can see that it is now receiving less power than before. I let it continue for another 10 minutes and at the 35th minute mark, I observed that it throttled again to 43 watts and this time the temperature on my thermal camera and on the screen of the power bank both showed 45 degrees Celsius. This was the highest temperature that I recorded on this power bank. When I tried to charge this power bank right after the test while it is still running warm, it showed a warning to indicate that it needs more time to cool down before recharging again. You can see from the screen of my Anker charging station as well, showing that the power bank is drawing 0 wattage. I think this is pretty good evidence that Anker's Active Shield technology does indeed work, at least for higher temperatures. I don't know about you, but I see throttling as a good thing on power banks because sometimes I would leave my other power banks inside my bag where there's zero ventilation and it will get very warm when I try to take it out. Since safety should always come first, I'm quite glad that this power bank was able to self-adjust its input and output wattage to stay in a safe temperature range. There is also a screen that tells you how many charge cycles this power bank has gone through and also the battery health of this power bank. Unfortunately, unlike most of many other Anker chargers and power core range of power banks, there's no app support for this power bank. Because of that, you do lose a lot of features like the power core models can do, like real-time battery monitoring, charging history, and locate with alarm. But if you don't use any of those features, then it might not really affect you anyway. It just feels like a missed opportunity because I had the feeling that Anker was trying to build an ecosystem around their products by linking them to an all-in-one app. It's just kind of odd that they didn't include this newest power bank inside it, and it leaves me kind of confused as to what their plan is with the Anker app. But perhaps they are just reserving those special in-app features only for the higher end power banks. As for travel friendliness, this power bank has a 90 watt-hour rating, which is comfortably under the 100 watt-hour limit for most airlines. This power bank can do pass-through charging as well. This means that if you only have one port on your charger, you can use the ports and built-in cables from this power bank to charge multiple devices. Overall, I think that this power bank has a good balance of power, the number of ports, the total capacity, and convenience features. It's not the absolute highest wattage power bank option that you can find, but it does make up for it with its versatility. It's great for charging multiple devices with low to moderate power consumption, like the MacBook Air, iPhones, and tablets. I think I can also trust this power bank in terms of safety, given that I've witnessed the Active Shield technology stepping in each time the power bank gets too warm. If you don't need to charge devices that are super power hungry, then I think this power bank is a very solid option. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Drop me a comment if you have any questions. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.